Hey everyone, Rach Cox here. I'm actually recording this on the same day. I just quickly put on a different top because I thought it's easier to tell the difference between the videos. And I can't remember whether I told you in the last one or not. What was I going to tell you? I can't even remember. Anyway, today we're going to learn, or I'm going to teach you about the art of letting go. When I was in the shower this morning, that's where I do my prep work for my videos. I was just thinking, I got so excited because it's so exciting for me to teach you. I'm so glad I sort of came across this whole healing business and this energy healing business and knowing myself as an energy being, because it's so important. And it will bring a real sense of richness and purpose to your life if you understand that you don't just exist on this, physical plane, that you exist outside time and space as an eternal energetic being, and you just come into this lifetime to learn and grow and go again. So it's really fascinating, and the reason I want you to become aware is because then you can become the magician or the manifester, or you can bring into your life what you want. One of the most important lessons I have learnt is that of letting go. It's been a hard one, I'll tell you. Sometimes though, I have these moments like where I do it, whatever the lesson is, and then I'm just like, is that it, to my guides? And they go, yeah. And I go, is that all it was? Like, how many lifetimes have I actually spent working that one out? So it's just so exciting. I just want you to be as excited as I am about life. It makes it exciting because you just think, well, I've got this opportunity. This isn't the be all and end all of my existence. In fact, when I pass back into the light, I'm actually going home. As I said before, it's a temporary visa to visit Earth, and we're just coming in, we're having this great experience with all those people, everyone we meet, and everything we experience is for our soul's growth, right? Because your soul exists and your spirit exists, they exist in different vibrations, so different dimensions. So we're here in the third dimension, having a physical experience. Our soul exists on the fifth and our spirit in the seventh. Anyway, so everything that appears in your world, whether you know it or not, you've created. So you've created the experiences through your thoughts, feelings, and words, because everything is energy, right? So once you become aware of that, it's fabulous. Life becomes like a game. It's less intense. It's less personal. It becomes more about, what am I going to learn this time? It's interesting. And you'll even, I was in the shower this morning and actually thanked my guides for what has transpired over the last 48 hours, which if I was not aware of this journey, I would be in an absolute state of flap about, but it's actually brought so much clarity to me. It's extraordinary. And even though it was a foul situation and a betrayal of trust of the highest order, it brought so much clarity to me and actually enabled me to let go. So, letting go. When I first went to Byron, which was in 2013, for the HOFFMAN process, I can't remember whether I mentioned this in my last video either. But Byron for me is just the most intense healing space ever. I mean, I know Bali is that for me as well, but for some reason, I go to different places in the world and they give me different kinds of healing experiences. As I was drifting off to sleep last night, I was thinking about my times in Byron, and there's been 4. And every time I've been there, I have cried from the minute I've landed to the minute I've left. Like really deep healing experiences happen there. And the last time I went, I was staying up at my friend Jim's property just outside Mallam, which is the most spectacular, beautiful place, by the way. Thanks, Jim. I had the most huge spiritual integration, it wasn't funny. And I almost sort of knew I had to be in that space by myself to be able to integrate that energy. There is something very, very, very special about Australia, but also about Byron. It does have that energy that does heal. Although next time I go there, I would love to, I don't mind if I heal, but if it could be just perhaps a healing of, a beautiful, loving healing experience rather than a traumatic, emotional experience. Anyway, when I first went and did the HOFFMAN process, right at the end, we all got like a little sticker with something written on it. And, people getting beauty and love and blah, 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 blah. And I just got surrender. And I thought, that is a shit house. Like, I don't even know what that is, and I hate it, and it's just not even nice. Surrender, what is that? Anyway, my whole journey, it's been a lot about my solar plexus chakra, but it's also been about letting go. And that's why it's important to know about your energy body and how it works on a much grander scale, right? So, letting go. If I want a new beginning in my life, and I do, but I can't quite get there yet. I explained it to someone the other day as like, a Venn diagram, looks like that. And, this is the old life here and this is the new. And then that's the transition in the middle. And I need to get out of that middle bit and into the new. So how am I going to do that? Like, it's called, if you're feeling stuck, then you haven't learned the art of letting go or surrender, right? So you emit a frequency. In the last 4 years of my study, I've become so aware of my body in such a different way. I talked to you earlier about how disease or pain in your body is blocked energy, and there's a lesson in that as well. So even just starting with listening to that, like, why have I got that sore right hip? It is dependent on, what side it's on, what is it, and there's lots of things on the internet that you can Google to find out that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can start with that. And then so becoming aware makes you realize that whatever you're going through is teaching you something. So then you go, oh, okay, I'm not going to look at this in terms of what's that person doing to me, why they're being such an asshole. It's about, what can I learn for my own soul's growth? How can I take that energy and change it? Because what happens is the universe matches your frequency. So if I'm still holding on to, if I want a new beginning, but I'm still holding on to the past, is that new beginning going to come? No, it's not. Because the universe knows that I'm still in that energetic vibration, right? So if I do the work on thinking, all right, I'm responsible for changing this energetic vibration, okay? And that's why I always say, it's not a person that can help you change it. It's not a drug. It's not an alcohol. It's not a place. It's you becoming aware that you have to transform it, right? You're the magician. What's happening outside is a reflection of what's happening inside in your inner world, okay? I am a big believer that you can heal your body through making little changes like that. I've had a few clients with cancer, and the fascinating thing is, I can see where it's come from, and quite often it's from something you're doing, like not I don't mean drinking, smoking, that kind of thing. I know that causes cancer as well. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I'm also saying there is a huge other side to that disease. I'm not going to go into that either, but I feel a bit nervous about saying it. I've got to be honest, but I will, when I'm ready, talk to you about how I think what I think cancer is, and I think it's probably going to be one of our greatest teachers of all time. Absolutely, 100%. However, letting go. Let me get back to that. So, yeah. So the universe, you will keep being stuck in the past if you're holding on, right? So what happened to me during the week was not very nice. And it really cemented for me the ability to say, that's absolutely enough. And I've drawn a line in the sand now, and I'm ready to move on. Before I was hopeful that, it could be really lovely and blissful and whatever, but I've realized now that's not going to happen right now. Hopefully it can in the future, but not right now. So it doesn't really matter what happened, but what matters is the switch that I've had in my energy as a result of that occurrence. So no, it wasn't pleasant, and it was a breach of my trust from a friend that I adored. So I can look at that and be bitter about it, or I can go, this is such a fucking great opportunity, because now I realize what this is. Now I realize, I'm actually very ready to take that next step forward. I've had enough. And that's just cemented to me through that behavior and those actions. That's not what I want in my life. I don't need a person that treats me like that in my life, So it's really important to, as I was sitting there in the shower, I said, oh my God, thank you for that. Because that's actually been the catalyst for me being able to switch that energy. Now that I've switched that energy, and it is as simple as that. Yes, it's actually taken years, all right? It's not simple. It's taken years. And it's probably taken lifetimes, to be terribly honest with you. But the important thing is I've done it now. So once you make that switch, you can actually feel it inside of you. You can actually feel, it's sort of like, oh, I felt like that before, and it was weighing me down. And I felt depleted. Now I feel strong and empowered because I've made a decision, because I've said enough's enough. That was the last straw. That crossed the line in ways you would not believe. So it's given me the clarity to go, I'm stepping away. I'm actually not going to hold on to that anymore because it's not in my best interest. I'm now in the other side. So that's why it's so important. And it's just, it can be as simple as that. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a change in my perspective, a change in the way I look at it, a change in my thought processes, a change in, I'm not going to hold on to that anymore because this the same thing keeps happening over and over again. There's no change, and it's hurtful actions. So would you want those? No. So you change that vibration. So I can physically feel it inside me that it's changed, right? That I was there and now I'm here. Just by changing, just by sort of putting my foot down and making the decision, not to say I can't handle this, but I won't handle this. Someone said to me the other day and I went, whoa, I like that. It takes you from victim to empowered. So you now stand there and go, no, I won't tolerate that. I'm going to go forward in my new life and create happiness and have someone in my life that treats me with respect and love. In fact, I want loads of people in my life that treat me with respect and love. And I'm looking forward to meeting heaps of new people and, reconnecting and doing loads more healings and whatever. But what I'm saying, the crux of this sort of video is that you're responsible for the change within, and then you'll get the change without. So it's not only letting go, it's letting go of maybe a person, letting go of an outcome. That's another thing. So you can put a wish out to the universe. I want a new job opportunity, for instance, that brings in enough money that I can buy this awesome house with. Please God. So I can say that and I can vibrate at that energy, right? But the way I'll block it is if I say, but I want it to appear this way, The universe will bring you the right opportunity. you've got to step out of the way. You've got to let go of any expectation of what's going to come. So that's really, really important, because the universe will bring you the right job at the right time, in the right place, when you're ready. So when I've been healing these last 2 years, I've really done no personal healings in that time. And there's a reason for that. And that's because I wasn't healed enough to do them. Now they're coming back in now, because in every day of that 2 years, I self-healed and I meditated and I worked consciously on changing my energetic vibration. I knew that was so important, because the next stage of my life won't happen until I've cleared that. I can't have that new beginning. And let me say, if you don't do the healing and you just go straight on to the next thing without really learning the lessons of what was coming up, then you're going straight into another cycle that I can guarantee you will bring you the same lessons. You have to do the healing and you have to do the lessons. And I know, especially when it's grief and letting go of that grief, and letting go of that sadness, or letting go of that anger. It's so important in so many ways. Like, even just letting go and allowing yourself to be yourself. You know, there's so many things that we need to let go of. And once we do, it will bring in such a breath of fresh air and such clarity, and will enable you to get to the next stage. So really be conscious, not only during COVID, but after, that letting go is probably one of the most valuable lessons you can learn. It's taken me years and years and years and years to be able to master it. And sometimes it's accepting and letting go of someone where you might have felt that it could have been really special, but maybe in this lifetime it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it was just meant to be that tiny little experience, and then it went and it taught you something about yourself. If I hold on to that, I can't invite new in. I can't go, oh, I wish he would come back. It's like, or I wish that job didn't end, or I wish we didn't leave Singapore. You've got to let go of that. If I'm holding on to Singapore and all my friendships there and wanting and willing to be there, then I'm not going to be able to experience the beauty of life that's here. In fact, I was just at the coffee shop today, and the lady was talking about, I've just come back from Singapore and blah, 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 and this and this and this. And it was the first time, I think, I didn't find the need to turn around and go, oh, I lived there, and what did you do? And I just thought, you know what? I'm just looking out in my little suburb in Glen Iris, just recording. That's my son. Little suburb in Glen Iris. It was so beautiful. The sun is shining. There's blossom everywhere. There's people social distancing and with masks on in the park doing their exercise. It's gorgeous here. It could not be more beautiful. And I just really feel settled and happy to be in Melbourne. It's a beautiful, beautiful city, a beautiful, beautiful place. I know it's taken me a long time. It has taken 3 years for me to feel that. But can you